All right, my friends, I was just watching a video of a guy who actually, I won't say it, but he was referencing the Economist magazine. I think a lot of people that reference and I'm not here to bag on anybody, but the Economist is clickbait for people who want to sound that's going to offend a lot of people. The Economist is just one step above Business Week. All right, it's just basically clickbait for people who want to seem like they're intellectual. All right, I'll just leave it at that. And don't you can't fall for the Economist. It doesn't make you intellectual. It makes you. I'm feeling I'm disparaging a whole group of people, and I don't want to. It's almost like USA Today and for economics. USA Today, what they did, and incredibly foresight, is they said, we're going to put our articles, we're going to narrow them down, we're going to put them into just almost like tidbits of paragraphs that the lay person can read while they're eating breakfast at the hotel. It's not going to take any thought. And in fact, it's funny because my wife used to work for when she was in high school, I think in high school, she did part-time for a local news rag, a county-wide news rag. The guy told her, you got to write as if it's a fifth grade reader. And he was the editor of the paper. And I don't think my wife did any writing. I just think she did some administrative stuff. But anyway, so the Economist says, so that's what the Economist is, based on the USA Today model, which is based on the headline propaganda that we have now with the internet. It's just quick, boom, catch your attention, make you read the first paragraph or two, and done. I mean, it's literally that simple. I mean, it's just not for deep thinking. It's not. It is also very left-wing. It's globalist left-wing stuff. I mean, and so globalization and left-wing now go hand in hand. It used to be globalization back in the old days. It's sad, actually, how far the working class has gone with just used as a piñata by the left. It used to be the working class would be on the left to keep domestic manufacturing, to keep employment jobs in here, you know what I'm saying, and to create barriers to entry so cheap labor couldn't come in. And I didn't like that either. But then the left went globalization because of the third way under the Tony Blair, Bill Clinton model. And they knew they could get rich. I mean, that's just whoa, big old deer right there. Wow, lots of deer, freaking oversized rats. And so that's what happened to the left. They followed the Bill Clinton, Tony Blair model, the third way, and they became globalists, and they all became wealthy. I mean, just look at Obama. He's wealthy. Yeah, I don't blame him, but he knew the globalization is how he got that wealthy. The Democrats in the old days, that didn't happen. As much as they weren't globalist, they were pro-American union, and now they're essentially the same as union busters. The Republicans aren't any better. But the Republicans at least they admitted they're globalists from the old days. And that made sense back then, and then the world just went that one direction. And the Economist is part and parcel the globalist. Look, man, if you look at what's going on in Italy right now, so the populist government was just, I don't want to say defeated, but the globalist, it's almost like the book I was just reading, Submission. The globalist government took over because the guy from the 5-Star Movement jumped on board with the left, a globalist, and then the business party, essentially the corporatists, jumped on board too, and they developed a governing authority and put the populist Salvini, put him to the curb, kicked him to the curb. And now they're opening up for they love the EU, they love the ECB, they love no borders. It's just this is literally what happened in the book Submission in France, where the guy said, the Muslim Brotherhood, the corporatist, and then the left-wing party get together to kick the National Front to the curb. Now, you may or may not like National Front, but at the end of the day, they're a power in France politics in this book now, and they still are today, but in this case, it's really happening in Italy. It's exactly what happened. It wasn't the Muslim Brotherhood, of course. In this case, it's the 5-Star Movement. But they're saying, look, we don't want any borders. Let them all in. And and that's what the Economist loves. They love the idea of no borders. They love the idea of unencumbered, what's called free trade, but it's not free trade. It's corporatist stuff. And corporatist stuff means that the powers that be get richer, and there isn't free trade. There is a significant barrier to entry, and the barrier to entry is, again, as George Carlin said, it's a big party and you ain't invited. And what that means is the barriers to entry are that you, as just Joe Schmo sitting there in freaking Mechanicsville, Pennsylvania, can't start a firm and get access to the global trade. You can't, because you don't have the corporatist lobbying power of DC, and because you don't have it, it sucks to be you. But all the big wigs who spend billions of dollars in lobbying, they do have access to it, and they're always going to get first call, always first dibs. So anyway, look, if you want to read The Economist, it's fine. Just remember from where it comes. Globalist all the time, which we know what it means. It's big love to the EU, big love to the ECB, big love to cheap labor, big love to ways to combat climate change. It's all corporatist, socialist stuff. And I chuckle when people read that as if it means anything. All right, we'll see you.